Hi, I'm the goddess astrologer Jude Hotep and the alchemical initiatrix. Hi, I don't know where the recording started. So I'm Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix. I'm going to get into the chart for today, do some card pulls. This is really fantastic, amazing week after this eclipse energy leading up to the new moon in Gemini on the 30th. This eclipse season stays until the next new moon. The eclipse energy and lessons learning, what's happening, the reasons, what the eclipse does, stays with us for 6 months until the next eclipse cycle starts. So it's interesting. It's really beautiful to track eclipse cycles and what's happening in your life, because you have to realize that we are ascending. So much is happening inside and churning, and light goddesses are being turned inside out, shedding the shadow, chances to heal. So there's a lot of people in the light who are going towards the darkness, who are projecting the shadow, who are not facing the healing. And yes, you might go through a phase in a moment in time where you're angry or going through things, but face that shadow, because there's so many gifts and there's so much light you're here to bring. And we have to stay in the love. We have to stay in the highest frequency. We have all this Aries energy coming. So it's about getting a lot of stuff accomplished on our vision, but it's where it's in the way that works for you. It's in your energy system. It's in your birth chart and how your chart functions. It's in capitalizing on what is powerful about you, your energy, your chart, not doing it the way the outside voices say to do business, to do anything. However, we want to accomplish massive things right now for the collective, for everything that we're changing. So this is a massive week. I'm going to share the chart with you because a lot is shifting and churning. There is the Mercury retrograde is allowing us to go backwards. And where am I at? This doesn't seem like the right date. It is not. Hold on a second. Like, that's not correct. Here we go. And then let's go forward a day, not a month. Tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, so this Mercury retrograde at 1 degree, all about the heart, about protecting the heart, protecting what you love, protecting your ability to activate love inside of you. This is what's so important about today. You want to really understand that this eclipse energy is churning so much behind the veils, deeply feminine, deeply inside. Scorpio is a water sign. It's a feminine sign. It's so many emotions. It's this black Lilith, this black moon Lilith energy. Lilith is this archetype of where we have given over our power, where we've had power abused upon us, where we didn't stand up in our inner authority. So with the chart, Black Moon Lilith being in Gemini at 12 degrees, it's about in our belief systems. How are we running beliefs that are not allowing us to be in charge of our authority, or thinking that other people have an authority over us because we're projecting our shadow onto them, or where they are provoking within us, not that they're doing anything, because it's always our work to do our work, right? The other person, these situations, those are circumstances. We must grow in independence of circumstance. We must grow the ability to be above and beyond circumstance, because circumstances we cannot control. So the other person's provoking, the yoga of relationships is provoking your stuff. And so what is that? And provoking your places within yourself where you feel like they are not doing right, they're not being authentic, they're manipulating, they're trying to control you, they're titrating information and not giving you the full story and just coming with it. And so they're being very manipulative. And it's like, okay, well, how do I go inside myself to where I deal with what this is inside of me? Because that's where the transformation is. That is massive. And what's happening with this Aries, and we have this asteroid, I don't remember the name, I'm just learning some new things about this particular asteroid, but it's at 1 degrees or at 0 degrees Aries. So we have this asteroid that's all about the divine, and it's the divine archetype, and I'll tell you more about it in videos to come as I'm studying more about it. But it's and then we have Aries We have Jupiter that just now moved to 1 degrees Aries, and then we have Venus that took the lead of the 4 planets that were in Pisces, the divine feminine Venus, the divine masculine Mars that's still at 26 degrees Pisces, that has now moved off that's moving off of the conjunction of Neptune and Mars and passed over Neptune, giving us all of this. What do I take action on from the soul? And then Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, those 2 co-rulers. So we have Venus leading the way of this Aries energy, which is about our independence. Independence means of beliefs that keep us in a soul cage, that we must jailbreak our soul with all of this Aries energy, because Mars is going to come into Aries. And this energy is going to be so profound because, first of all, Mars rules Aries, right? So it's at home there, it's happy there. Venus, while she's technically a detriment, she is very fierce, very very more of the, I know my sexual energy and power in Aries. She's very much in touch with the sacral chakra, and I know my no and my yes from a deep, sexually sacred inner worth and value of who I am and what I bring, that is unique, weird, peculiar, strange, not the norm. Thank you, goddess. That has it. I have my own medicine that's unique. So where is that in yourself? And this Mars has these quintiles and septiles. Well, it actually just has a trine and a quintile for the closing aspects of this conjunction. And so what that means is they're deeply, the trine is a positive aspect. And so it is allowing you to and it's trining the south node in Scorpio, where we had the lunar eclipse, and we're still in that lunar eclipse energy of the season, of the eclipse season right now. We're still in the season where the energy is 6 months, right? And the lessons, the learnings, the understandings, what we're working on, what we're doing in our metaphysical internal worlds. And so this trine from Mars and Pisces to the south node in Scorpio is allowing us to take action on all the revelations, all the deep internal churning and shifting and changes and awakening and growth that's coming from this eclipse. That's very beautiful and nuanced and finer energy, finer changes. They're not the big macro gross changes. They're fine. They're really deep in your psyche and in your consciousness, and on the heels of so much massive shifting over the last 2 years, and then the last 10 years since the Mayan calendar shifted in 2012, and an awakening began moving towards this golden age that some people say we're in the golden age, some people say it starts at 2032. Regardless, that this is the time, we are the 7th generation. And so then Mars also has this septile. What are septiles? Septiles are metaphysical aspects. They are otherworldly. So septile is very otherworldly. It's peculiar. It's like David Bowie. It's unusual. And so it's taking action on the unusualness about you, the unusualness that will be perceived by other people depending on what city and state you're in and environment and group you're in. You could be seen as quite peculiar. I'm in Eugene, Oregon, and I have my hair the way and I've had more people stop and just stare at me, and sometimes it's because of my energy and my divine feminine presence, but right now it just seems like it's almost about my hair. But it's like Oregon, this progressive, which progressive has been co-opted by the dark. It doesn't mean what it's meant to mean. They're the most unliberated and unfree places, actually, but I'm not going to get into something that's very triggering, but it's a good trigger because we need to look at the truth. And this Gemini Mercury is helping us to look at the truth. This Black Moon Lilith and Gemini is helping us to look at the truth, and the sun will be coming into Gemini season, where we will be in the season of looking at the truth and many multiple ideas and perspectives and understandings. And so it's surprising that people in all the places around the country that they would look at me here as peculiar, yet in like Nebraska or Missouri, nothing doing, nobody cared. So it's really fascinating where people are closed down and what's happening in those places to those people and those souls within those bodies. The vehicle, our personality is just a vehicle for the soul. So those souls, what's happening for those souls, we have to look at life from a soul perspective. And so what's important about today, the moon's in Capricorn, very stoic, not really lots of emotions going on, helping us, all kinds of trines to Mercury and the sun and Eros. And so it's wanting us to really be in this like, here's my vision, this is what I'm doing, prioritizing, getting things done and accomplished, yet in the truth of your energy, not the way the business sphere says, not the way a lot of these coaches out there say, not the way other people say, but in the way that works for your energy, when you're fully resourced as feminine, when you are taking care of you, when you have stillness, play, connection, pleasure, and joy, when you are fully resourced, when you're taking care of root chakra things, and you're taking care of your creative vehicle, your creative channel, and clearing and doing that energetic work, and you're connecting and the family is taken care of, and all these different elements, it's like doing it in the way that works for you. It's not about just working so hard endlessly. That's not the definition of work. The work is the inner spiritual work you do inside. The business is the play, and it should be play. And I'm encouraging everyone in my Instagram posts at Peace Hotep. You can look at there. I'm doing daily card readings, which are so fun, and some reels, and you can see that I'm a circus artist and get to know me a little bit more. I'll be sharing more and more about who I am if you don't know me already, but there's 364 episodes where definitely can get to know me as a coach and a guide, but also take that wealth of support there and inspiration that is not in a membership site costing you money. It's free on the Light Goddess podcast, the links below. But you can look there to see. I'm encouraging everyone to redefine, to only do what you love right now. Don't read books you don't love. Maybe you want that information in your brain and just set it aside for now. Maybe come back to it. Maybe you'll never come back to it, but let go of everything you don't love right now. Let go of everything that doesn't bring you joy right now. And when you know you want to be doing things that really do bring you joy, but it's the mindset work, be doing your mindset work. Mindset work is a word nobody understands. I'm talking about actual physical self-coaching, where you are doing self-coaching, where you are putting it on paper, cleaning out your brain once a day, doing think, feel, do cycles, where you're understanding the thoughts create the feelings drive the actions. Are my actions coming from the wound? Are they coming from the heart and soul? We have to stay in this love place. What raises your frequency? What keeps you in love? And cleaning your brain will, processing your emotions and allowing your emotions. With Scorpio full moons, and then with it being eclipse, there's a lot of purging happening. So a lot of people that are going through a lot of deep shadows. Nothing right, wrong, good, or bad. It's great. It means that you're cleansing, you're clearing, you're purifying. If you don't know how to move through that journey, that's what we do in Alchemical Goddess. I help you move through the different phases that come up on the spiritual journey while you get the results that you want in your business, in your money, in your soulmate relationships. And we do so much in Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program. So you can get into a complimentary goddess call at thegoddessastrologer.com. This energy for today, I think I've talked about so much that this moon wants to get it done. This Aries, Jupiter in Aries is writing the new story, but it's about protecting your love and your heart, meaning protecting the love that you bring versus fear, versus the wound or the ego, the love, the heart, the soul trajectory, the soul journey. And we have to really be aware of not putting too much energy on what other people think of us, or on familial ties that are pulling you back down into the crab barrel. So that's something about today that's really important. We have breathe. So to actually literally take a couple of minutes a day and take some deep breaths and get back into this now moment. Also with breathe, if you close the right nostril and only breathe through your left nostril only, It's called Nadi Shodhana. It's a breath that engages the parasympathetic nervous system. It's a different breath where you alternate or you just do the right. It's only breathing in and out through the left nostril. You can do it in the car. You can do it in line at the grocery store. It will calm down anxiety. It will calm down fear and trepidation. It will pattern interrupt old neural pathways that are trying to pull you back into the dark energies. So you can use that breath. It's a powerful breath. It's a technique. Nobody knows what you're doing. You can do it anywhere. And it's something that should be in your spiritual gig bag because it will help you in different ways. Are you using your spiritual gig bag of tools? That card is really asking you to do that. Time to go, that there's things that are old chapters that are time to leave, whether it's old neural pathways, old emotional toxic patterns, whether it's relationships, whether it's the way you have been in relationships up to this point. What is the real soul you? How are you being authentic as fuck? How are you being you as fuck? That's one of my podcasts from early on. I don't remember what the number is, but you can go back through and listen to that podcast episode called Being You as Fuck. It's an excellent episode. People loved it, really got a lot out of it. So I really encourage you to go back and listen to that. There is, what is it within you that you're still not being fully you? This is really important to look at because we're rewriting the new chapter, the new story with Jupiter and Aries. It's the new story. There's too much thinking about the wrong things. Reflection, mining the thoughts for the data, but clean out your brain. Don't sit there and churn and be thinking in ways, using your mind in ways that are not serving you, that are not moving you forward, and thinking versus using this Aries energy to capitalize and to work on your vision and to do the things that you know are right for you. We have yin, that there's too much yin energy right now. And with Mars and Pisces, it can be just a letting it all go, whatever, who cares? Really bring, like, temper the yin and yang energy. Take the yin moments to rest, restore, rejuvenate, and then accomplish what you need to accomplish in your vision, in your spiritual preneurship as divine feminine woman. Orphan, that there's a lot of feelings coming up, especially with this Scorpio lunar eclipse, full moon, feelings of being orphan, feelings like you're not loved. The unlove is one of my favorite emotions because I think that it actually describes so much of what humanity feels so often, but doesn't have a word for it, doesn't have a way to understand what they're actually feeling. And then people lash out from that place of unlove so hard. That's where hate comes from, is only the unloved hate. And so there's so much unlove. So many of our parents didn't know how to actually love unconditionally. They only loved conditionally, when you were doing what they said, when you were following their program, when you were not annoying them. They didn't do their own mindset work. They didn't do their own emotional work. Where is the unconditional love? How can you cultivate that within yourself? And what's turning it on and turning it off? By the book and protection, that you need to write the rules of the book. Saturn and Aquarius is saying we're innovating what work means. We're innovating what commitment, determination, hard work, restrictions, limitations. We're innovating all of that right now. We're redefining that for the galactic citizenry, for the soul reality, and instead of the projected reality by the dark, for the truth of who you really are, which is sacred stardust. You are from soul, from spirit, coming into a being, which happens to be a human being this time around. And if you're like me, many lifetimes, I keep finding out and doing some past life work, which has been such powerful work in my life, that has changed my life, working with my chart and my past lives, the tribe. And it's in reverse, saying that you're not going out and connecting to soul tribe. What are you doing? We need people around us that co-sign our narrative, that think like we do. And it's not about thinking exactly like you do. You'll be in great soulmate relationships where you'll have a really different perspective on life than they do. And if you're doing your inner work, you don't have to be worried or concerned that it means you're not aligned, or that there's an issue, or that they're going to die, or whatever it is. You know, I know a lot of people I'm in relationship with that are under this age spell, and that are under, and then talk about like getting old, and I'm this many years old. You're this many years alive. You're this many years alive. Old is an adjective. it's not a truth. Why are we defining life like this? Your telomeres mean life expectancy is 140 years minimum. So you might want to go at 80 or 90. That's fine. Nobody said you had to live to 140, but the telomeres actually scientifically, our life expectancy is 140 years, but people are so spelled and conditioned to these cultural portals of age. If you look at Mario Martinez's work, so a lot of people doing this work about the blue zones and other things, that people are spelled into age, which means that you're acting decrepit at 30 something years old, at 40 something years old. I got news for you. I'm going to be even more powerfully a hand balancer in the decade I'm in. I don't talk about age because it makes people do that superiority inferiority complex and have to have authority over you and put you in categories. We got to stop these old patterns in society. However, I'm in a lot of relationships, getting back to the point, where people are really spelled into the age thing, and that's what they want to be part of their story and their narrative. And it's like, okay, it doesn't mean they're going to die. It doesn't mean that they're going to not be as healthy or not live as long. They're going to experience life a lot more shitty, a lot more tired, a lot more or less energy, but that's their story. I don't know why they want to stick to it. Maybe I'll be that light and that inspiration. Maybe not, but I can be in relationship with them, letting them have their story and me having mine. And nothing's right, wrong, good, or bad. But we want to really realize that we need to get into soul community. We need to get into soul tribe. We need to be going out. Why are you not going out and meeting people, talking to people online, in person, going to groups, going to meetups, going to events, going to dances, ecstatic dance, going to spiritual places, talking to people, going to different places than you've already tried. Stop using excuses. It didn't work. I didn't meet anybody. Go again. People don't come every single week. Go to different things, mix it up. Think of things you have not thought of. Building blocks, it's in reverse. So we have to remember we have a Taurus North Node. It's building one step at a time. It's get rid of the urgency, let that go. That doesn't help anything. Stop using your vision against your now ability of accomplishment and capability and capacity. Time for a nap that you're not resting and taking the rest times as you need it, and you're scrolling instead, or doing escapism activities which do not resource you. They drain you. And you're stealing time from yourself. Instead, consciously choose to go walk in the woods and beauty, to consciously choose to go take a nap or sit in the garden or go with a friend to get that connection in a coffee shop, or to build something and make something so pretty. Wish I could show you my wind chime. I got this gift of this wind chime. It's so gorgeous. And it's just made with driftwood and hand blown glass. And it's so beautiful. And it just reminds me of love. What puts you in that love state? What resources you use it? Meditation or exercise or play. Like maybe you go take a trampoline class, or you go to one of those skydiving places, or you go real skydiving. Like, think outside the box, fully resource yourself. Stop stealing time from yourself that doesn't resource you, like scrolling and binging and just watching TV, all very unconscious behaviors. Whatever you're doing, do it consciously on purpose. Distraction. The other night with the eclipse energy, I was having a great, amazing night. But then at the end, towards trying to go to bed, my brain, just where I was at, it was just like, this isn't where I want to be. This isn't the energy, and I want to go to sleep. So I put on conscious distraction, put on one of my favorite shows I've watched a million times that I love. And it's like, these people are real to me. I love it. And I was just completely comforted, but from a conscious place, not mindlessly just vegging and out to it. I was like, no, this is my home, consciously choosing to take care of myself and do something that I need for me, which is this. Some days it's a book, some days it's a walk, etc. So I'm sending you lots of love. You can book an astrology reading. Why do astrology? Because it's like, you want to be really great with being who you are not, and you want to utilize the strengths of your chart to capitalize on them. If you don't know your chart, you are not capitalizing on the gifts about who you are that's so unique, and you're probably upset about the things that you are not meant to be. And you can get really happy about who you are not, that other people are great at those things and you're not. And you can get really happy about that when you start working with who you really are and your true soul beauty in your chart. So you can book that astrology reading at thegoddessastrologer.com. And the links below are for the Light Goddess Sisterhood full moon ceremonies. These are not like you've ever experienced before, I promise you. Deep connection over astrology with women, sitting in sacred bonds with each other, sacred confidential space. And then we're doing the Power of 8 intention circles, where we're all going to help each other do money healing, relationship healing, and so forth. So calling in the twin flame, all of that stuff. So these are the main 3 offerings right now. There might be more to come, but sign up for the Light Goddess Sisterhood. It's literally $44 for the rest of the month. The doors open guaranteed in August. I might start doing the full moon ceremonies before then. I'm going to be considering that over these next 2 weeks, and that would be June that it started. But definitely the doors open in August. It seems like it's far away. It's not. That's the time where the Uranus Saturn square is happening. You want to be around sisterhood of true women who are on this journey, doing spiritual business, facing their shadow, doing the work, and have these narratives of the spiritual soul life. And the Aries energy is going to be coming to an end, and so you're going to want to be in this space. It's a beautiful space. So you can sign up now. Go over to Instagram, like this video, please, so more women can find it. I love you being here so much. I'm so glad you're in the sisterhood, in this community. If you haven't connected with me personally, reach out. I connect to every woman in this community, or I offer that. And so I'd love to connect with you personally. Sending you lots of love. Go with these energies. You got this.